Yeah. Sound like some superhero.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. First play's a run with Nwangu. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 29, Herbert. Open man is Chase, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. On first down, it's Herbert. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. The Falcons at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert, throw left side, complete to Chase. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. How about that? They weathered the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. So the new weapon just picked up via the trade, making an impact here right away.
And what you like about getting guys who catch passes, you don't have to spend a lot of time in the playbook. You just tell them to dial up a route and get the ball in their hands.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw into the hands of Pitts here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Herbert operating from the red zone. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. To the air again, Herbert. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on third down.
They're able to get a couple here but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
On second and goal, Herbert escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? Third and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown Atlanta. Justin Herbert with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice.
And it'll be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had a big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Operating from the gun, Lynn. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And when the time has expired, on 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll go down, but now before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He completes it to Ridley. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Herbert off of play action. Touchdown! Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons go up by 2 touchdowns. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start here with Jackson. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On third down, Lynn. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On is the punter, Scott, here as he gets this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And this doesn't quite work out as well as planned. They'll forfeit a few yards as he's tackled just past the 15. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Herbert's throw here taken in by Ingram. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. Herbert. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
They run on first down with Jackson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Second down, another carry for Jackson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
And Sanders pulled it. It's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Wow, that qualifies as a bad miss because anything inside of 40 should be automatic. That's a big mistake right there.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Herbert back to the air. He's going to go up top again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Jamar Chase, 39 yards. And the Falcons have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. To throw on 3rd down, Lynn. Looking deep downfield. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. He's got his pass-catching tight end, that's Pitts. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back. That's caught at the 25. And he'll be marked out right at the 20-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. They'll look to throw here on first down. Able to find Gray here. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Now a handoff inside, it's Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, rushing. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
On first down, Justin Herbert. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Finds his tight end Ingram. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Herbert on first down now. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On second down, this is Jackson, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, Lynn. Going for the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run with Jackson out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and get
on Herbert, his 3rd interception. And the Vikings are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Got a man open. It's Chase. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw into the hands of Pitts here. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Herbert throwing again. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. To me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Again, Herbert. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons are on their way to a 2-0 start. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
He's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Herbert. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slip.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the 6th sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw from his end zone. Lynn. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They go play action here on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Herbert's throw taken in by Ridley here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta.